MLOps, why we need MLOps. And in today's webinar, we are going to cover how we can optimize data workflows using SageMaker Data Wrangler. Okay. So let's quickly have a insight of what we are going to cover in today's session. So today we are going to see an overview of Amazon SageMaker Data Wrangler, how it fits in the MLOps workflow, and how it can help us with our data preparation. Okay. And then we will look into why we even need it and how can we use it, what are key features of AWS SageMaker Data Wrangler, some best practices around it, and some sample use cases. And then we will have a hands-on demo, which will give you a quick insight of how the platform can be helpful to you. Okay. So first we need to understand what is AWS SageMaker. It is a fully managed machine learning platform provided by AWS that enables developers and data scientists to build, train, and deploy machine learning models at scale. SageMaker supports a wide range of algorithms and provides various tools and services to assist with every step of the machine learning process, from data preparation to deployment. One of the key features of SageMaker is its ability to automatically scale resources as needed. This allows users to focus on building and training models rather than managing infrastructure. It also provides a Jupyter Notebook-based interface for data exploration and pre-processing, as well as pre-built algorithms and integrations with popular deep learning frameworks such as TensorFlow and PyTorch. SageMaker also offers a number of tools for model deployment, including real-time endpoints for serving predictions and batch transform jobs for large-scale processing. Additionally, SageMaker provides integration with other AWS services such as Amazon S3 for data storage and Amazon EC2 for compute. It makes it easy to build and deploy models as part of a larger data processing pipeline. Now, in AWS SageMaker, we have Amazon SageMaker Studio, which is an integrated development environment that provides a single web-based visual interface where you can access purpose-built tools to perform all machine learning development steps, from preparing data to building, training, and deploying your ML models. Today, we are going to discuss a very useful feature of AWS SageMaker Studio, which is SageMaker Data Wrangler, a powerful tool that helps you get more value from your data by making it easy to clean, transform, and visualize your data. Whether you are a data analyst, data scientist, or business analyst, Data Wrangler can help you make more informed decisions and drive better business outcomes. So, in today's data-driven world, having access to clean, organized, and relevant data is crucial for making informed decisions. This is especially true for businesses that rely heavily on data for their operations and decision-making processes. Unfortunately, the data that organizations collect is often messy, inconsistent, and difficult to work with. This is where Amazon Data Wrangler comes in. It is a cloud-based data preparation tool that makes it easy to clean, transform, and visualize your data. With Data Wrangler, you can easily discover, clean, and prepare your data for analysis, machine learning, and other data-driven tasks. It is designed to be intuitive and user-friendly, with a simple and straightforward interface that makes it easy to get started. When we will see the demo of this feature of SageMaker Studio, you will find it really exciting. So now, why do we even need to use this? Data preparation is often a time-consuming and tedious task that requires a lot of manual effort. Data Wrangler automates many of the manual steps involved in data preparation and saves you time and effort. It also helps you make sense of your data by providing you with a visual representation of your data and making it easy to explore and understand your data. With Data Wrangler, you can connect to a wide range of data sources, including Amazon S3, Amazon RDS, and Amazon Redshift. You can also connect it to Snowflake and Databricks. Also, you can clean and transform your data with a clean, simple point and click interface. Then you can visualize your data with interactive charts and graphs. You can also automate your data preparation workflows with a single click. Now, let us see some sample use cases where it can be useful. First is data cleansing. Data Wrangler can be used to clean and transform raw data into a format that can be easily analyzed and visualized. Second use case is feature engineering. It can be used to extract features from raw data and create new features that can be used to train machine learning models. Next use case can be data exploration. Data Wrangler can be used to explore and analyze large data sets, helping to identify patterns and outliers and other important trends. Next use case is data visualization. Data Wrangler can also be used to create visualization of data such as chart, graphs, maps, and that can help to communicate insights and findings more effectively. Another similar use case is data transformation. It can also be used to transform data from one format to another, making it easier to integrate data between different sources and systems. Now, a lot of theory. Let's quickly move to AWS environment. Okay, so when you log in into AWS, you land on this home page. From here, you can navigate to SageMaker. In SageMaker, you will be landed to the domain listing page, or you will be landed to this page, SageMaker Studio homepage. From here, we can open our Studio application, which is nothing but what I just covered in my slides, that it is a IDE. On tapping this, a Jupyter app will be open. It takes a bit of time to open, so I have already opened a similar Jupyter Server application, and let me go through this application in this demo. So this is the home page of Studio UI. Okay, let me walk you through this home page in case you are new to SageMaker. The left side panel has some quick links to home, your file browser, where you will find all the files generated. This area contains the running instance and kernels, and it is useful to shut down your kernels when you are done with your task. Then we have Git. Here we can initialize our repository and clone. Then we have TOC and extension manager. Okay. From above options, we can also customize the look of this UI. We can also create a new console notebook, data wrangler flow, terminal or Python file from here. And when we are done with our work, we can shut it down using this option. It's a good idea to shut it down to save cost, because if your apps are running in the background, they will cost you a lot of money. Right. So now to navigate to Data Wrangler, I can choose to click on this data tab and then choose Data Wrangler. This is the Data Wrangler listing page. All the artifacts that I have created using Data Wrangler will appear here. To start a new flow, I can choose to go with import data. For the purpose of this demo, I have taken Titanic dataset. If you have a familiar knowledge of ML, you must have seen the Titanic dataset, because that is the best tutorial that beginners take in. Let us move to what's happening now. Okay, so we are here, we are the users. Okay, when we opened Studio UI, when we launched our Jupyter Server app from Studio homepage, a virtual instance was created to render that UI to us. And this virtual instance does not incur cost to us. Okay, it is there only to render UI, but also it is not a powerful machine. There is no computation that can be done on it. Okay, now from Studio UI, when we launched the flow, which is currently in progress, as you can see, when we launch a data wrangler flow from UI, what happens is another virtual machine stood up and it will incur cost to us. Okay, this machine is where all the computation we will do in data wrangler will be computed. Okay, so be mindful that if you have created a data flow, make sure to terminate it. And for terminating it, what you can do is you can go in this area. You will see running instances and kernels here. Once our instance is created, it will appear here. From there, we can shut it down. Okay, so let us wait for a minute or two. Till then, I can tell you that for importing data into this, I have chosen S3 in this demo. What I have done is I have downloaded the Titanic dataset from Kaggle and I have uploaded it in a S3 bucket. Okay, so now you can see the instance I was talking about has been started and it has appeared here in running instances. When I am done with my work, what I can do is I can press this symbol and it will shut down the instance so that I do not get a long bill after it. Okay. Now, the first step of creating a data wrangler is to import data. Let us rename this flow file to Titanic demo. Now, these are the available data sources: Amazon S3, Athena, Redshift, Snowflake, EMR, Databricks. Okay, so there are plenty of options. Let us go with Amazon S3. Now, this is the bucket where I have uploaded my dataset. If I click it once, it will show me a preview of the data. Let me close this left tab. Okay. Now here you can see a good preview of the data, which is nothing but first 100 rows. Okay. And I can also see the size of the data. So size of this data set is really small, but if you are dealing with a large data set, what you can do is you can change the size of your virtual instance from here. SageMaker Data Wrangler provides you 7 different instance types which we can use. Okay, so out of this, you can choose according to the size of your data set. Apart from it, it has pre-filled some values for you, like file type is CSV, first row is header. You can also modify these settings. You can also modify the delimiter. And then we have the option for choosing sampling. Okay, but why do we need to choose sampling? Okay, let me just give you an overview of what's happening here. Okay. So I had to import from other sources, right? So what I did was I uploaded it into S3, and from S3, I ingested it into Data Wrangler. Currently, my data set was too small, right? But in real life, there can be instances where data is huge. Okay, so Data Wrangler assumes that your data set is huge and it offers you to sample the data. Once you sample the data and you ingest that sample data into Data Wrangler, there you can define transformations and visualizations on it. And Data Wrangler will produce a recipe of the transformations, which is nothing but the flow file that we have just created. And this flow file contains the steps for the transformations. Another artifact that Data Wrangler can produce is a Jupyter Notebook. Okay, this Jupyter Notebook is the orchestration code which contains all the logic which is needed to create your processing job. Okay, once your data wrangler has provided these two artifacts, we can create a processing job which can be run over the complete full data set, and then we can either we can store that into S3 or we can store that into feature store. Also, data wrangler also gives us a option to export the transformed data set into S3 directly. So in case our complete data set has been ingested into data wrangler, maybe we do not need to form a processing job. We can directly export it to S3. Also, this processing job is backed by Spark clusters. Okay, so it is a powerful job which can handle massive parallel processing as well. Okay. Let us get back to our demo. Okay, so for sampling, data wrangler gives us three options. We can either choose first k rows, we can do a random sampling, we can also do a stratified sampling. Let us take first k rows. Here we can give size of the sample. Here it is, there is also an option to get file name as a separate column, right? Once we are done with it, we can choose to import. It will take few seconds to show that data. Okay. Now here you can see a preview of the data. Here, as it is written, it will contain the list of all the steps that you have taken using data wrangler. These are nothing but the transformations that you are going to make. Right. Let us go to the home page of data flow by clicking on this link. Okay. This is the home page of data flow. This will contain a direct acyclic graph, a DAG for all the transformations and visualization that you have done. And as you can see, it is already showing two steps. We have ingested the data set, and data wrangler has automatically taken up the data types. But in case we should always do a cross check for the data types. So what we can do is we can go to edit, and here it will give us an option to update all the data types that have been assumed by data wrangler. Once we are done with it, we can go back to our graph. Here this plus symbols give you many options, right? It gives you option to add a transformation step, add analysis, train models, get data insights, destination, export. Okay. So in ML flow, mostly the first step of a data scientist is to get data insights, because he has to understand the data to apply some pre-processing steps. So let us get some data insights and see the real power of data wrangler. Here it gives us many options. We can create a simple table summary, we can create a scatter plot, we can create a histogram, or we can create a visualization for duplicate rows. But let me go for data quality and insights report, because this is my first step. So this report will give me a comprehensive view of the data. Now, in case I am doing supervised machine learning, I can choose a target column, which is survived in my case. And my problem type is classification. Okay. So this is the report that data wrangler has given in within just few clicks. Let it get generated. Okay. So first it give me some statistics of the data set, like how many features are there, how many rows are there, the percentage of missing values, duplicate rows, right? It also gives me the count of the numeric and categorical variable and binary variable and other details. Here, it also gives some high priority warnings, which can be duplicate rows. In this case, it is target leakage. It means that between the target column and any one of the feature, there is huge collinearity. That's why it's saying there is a chance of target leakage in your data set. So these warnings can help you get a prior understanding of the issues which might be coming. Then it shows how many duplicate rows you have. In this case, there are no duplicate rows. It shows a sample. It also shows a quick distribution of the target column. It has two classes. This is the distribution of the classes, which is almost balanced. Then it builds a quick model using XGBoost algorithm, right? And you can say the accuracy is very high, but the major reason is target leakage that it has already warned us. These are other parameters also, F1 precision, recall, and it also shows us confusion matrix for this model. Now it gives a wholesome summary of the feature. Someone who has complete knowledge of the data and is working on the data and the use case, this report will be very helpful to him, right? Then we have individual feature details as well. The distribution of each feature, and I can see 47% of bot is missing, right? And this is a categorical type data. Then we have this distribution of this X column of the data set. And in name, we can see which are the most common names or common words in this column, right? So you will get distribution and some quick insights into the data using this report. Okay. So let us go back to the home page of our data flow. Now you can see another step has been added to the graph, data quality and insights report. Okay. So let us say I also want to visualize a particular column of the data set, or I want to just add a visualization in this. What I can do is on tapping this plus symbol, I can add analysis. Okay. Now here to create analysis, I need to first define which analysis type I want. Do I want a quick model or histogram? Similar way, the way we created the report, let us say I want to see the histogram, right? We can name this visualization as required. This will help you to trace back your steps. I have selected the age column in the x-axis. We can also color it based on a categorical variable. That is nothing but the hue. You would be familiar with hue. And before saving it, we need to preview it. Okay. Now this is the graph that I wanted. So I can now save it. Right. We have made two graphs. Let us go to home page. Now you can see another part has been added in this graph, right? So this way, when you build it over and over, you will see a very intuitive graph which can easily take you to your steps. Now let us add a transform to this data. This is the area where you add new steps, and you will also see the earlier steps. For example, data types is a transformation step and we want to update it. So what we can do is we can update it from here and then choose to update, right? And to add new step, we have plenty of options. We can define a new column using a Spark SQL expression to query data. We can apply some custom transformation using our PySpark, Pandas, or SQL code. We can balance our data by oversampling or maybe undersampling it. We can do every pre-processing step that we usually require. We can also do feature engineering here. We can encode the categorical variables. We can featureize date time, format string. We can manage columns by moving them, dropping, duplicating, or renaming them. We can manage rows. We can shuffle the data. Okay. So there are plenty of options. There is so much to explore in this. Right. Let us drop a column. For that, I have selected drop column, and let us say I want to drop the name column. Okay, so I can search it here. I can select multiple. Let us say I also want to drop two columns, embarked column also. Okay, so I can select multiple columns here. Then I can preview it. Preview is there to so that we don't do wrong transformation to the entire data set. Okay, once we have previewed and cross-checked it, we can add it. Okay, so those two columns, as you can see, are now dropped. We do not see the name column or other column. And if you go to the home page, you can see our graph is continuously progressing, right? Let us add one more transform just to make you familiar. Let us encode a categorical variable, right? Let us say I want to do one hot encoding. I can choose a column which I need to encode. Let me choose here. Let me choose the yeah, sex column, and I will choose it to one hot encode, and I can give it options to what to do if there is a invalid handling strategy. I can skip those rows. Mm. Okay, I want the output in form of columns and not a vector, right? I can provide a prefix for the output column, and then I can preview it. Okay, now you can see it must have been added at the last. You can see there have been two columns added, one for male, one for female. And this is what we actually do while encoding our categorical variables, right? So this is how you can apply multiple transformations to your data set using this flow. If you want to get into any one of them, you can double click on it and it will open. You can modify it and you can save it. So it is a very intuitive platform. Let us now see how we can export this data. Okay. If you want to train a model on this transform data set, you can directly do it from here. It will use ML flow. Okay, now there are two options. Either we can add a destination. For example, we want to move the transform data set into Amazon S3, then we can choose the correct file type delimiter and we can choose to add this destination, right? But apart from Amazon S3, we can also directly send our data to SageMaker feature store, okay, which is a new capability of Data Wrangler. Also, it gives us an option to export all these transformation steps to Amazon S3 via Jupyter Notebook in just one click. Let me click this. Now you will see a ready to run code will be created. Right here you can see a complete code has been created with proper comments and explanation. And this code can be used to create our processing job. And it was so easy, right? We have other options also for exporting. If you have a MLOps team and you have been using SageMaker, you can also export it to a SageMaker pipeline via Jupyter Notebook only. You can also export it into Python code. And you can also export it directly from here to SageMaker feature store. Let us see the Python code it generates. Yeah. So this complete code will do the transformations that we have defined in the UI just now. So this was precisely the demo. Let us move back to our presentation. Okay. So now let us go through some best practices while using Amazon Data Wrangler. First is start with clean and well structured data. To ensure the best results when using Data Wrangler, it is important to start with clean and well structured data. This will reduce the time and effort required to clean and prepare the data. And it will also help to ensure that the results are accurate and meaningful. Okay. Next point is use the right data types. As I showed, Data Wrangler supports a wide range of data types, including text, numerical, categorical, and date time. It is important to use the right data type for each column in your data to ensure that Data Wrangler can handle the data correctly and to avoid errors. So always remember to check the data types once you ingest the data. Next is use the right tools for the job. Data Wrangler provides a range of tools for data preparation, including data profiling, cleaning, transformation. It is important to use the right tool for the job to ensure that you are using the best approach for your data and to get the best results. Preview the results of data transformation. Before applying any data transformation, it is a good idea to preview the result to make sure that the data is being transformed as expected. This will help you identify any issues with the data or the transformations early on and make any changes before the data is processed further. Always use version control. Data Wrangler also allows you to store and manage multiple versions of your data transformations, making it easier to keep track of changes and collaborate with others. It is a good idea to use version control to ensure that you can revert to a previous version of your transformation if necessary. Also, monitor and track performance. Data Wrangler provides performance monitoring and tracking tools to help you monitor the performance of your data transformations and identify any performance issues. It is a good idea to use these tools to ensure that your data transformations are running efficiently and effectively. By following these best practices, you can ensure that you are using Amazon SageMaker Data Wrangler to its full potential and get the best results from your data preparation and analysis workflow. Also, there are some precautions which you can keep in mind. Uh, First is data privacy. When working with sensitive data, it is important to ensure that data is properly secured and protected. Make sure to follow AWS security best practices such as encrypting data at rest and in transit and using appropriate access controls. Second is data quality. Data Wrangler operates on a copy of the data, so it is important to make sure that data is of high quality before using it for data preparation. This includes checking for missing values, duplicates, inconsistent data formats. Okay, next is performance. Data Wrangler is a tool for data preparation, but it can be resource intensive, especially when working with large data sets. Make sure to monitor performance and adjust the underlying hardware and infrastructure as necessary to ensure fast and efficient processing. Next is data governance. When using Data Wrangler, it is important to have clear policies and procedures in place for data governance. This includes defining roles and responsibilities for data stewardship, establishing data lineage and change management processes, and ensuring compliance with regulatory and legal requirements. One more precaution that can be taken care of is cost management. Data Wrangler is a cloud-based service that is priced based on the amount of data processed and stored. It is important to monitor usage and cost and to make sure that this service is used in an efficient and cost-effective manner. So this was some of the knowledge regarding Data Wrangler. Just go and explore the interface. It's really cool. If you have any questions, please post that in the chat section.
Uh, Okay, Ayushi. So we have a question from Sonali. She is asking, what is the purpose of extension manager?
Okay. So just like in your local computer, when you are using a IDE like Visual Code or Eclipse, you install some extensions, right? Jupyter also gives you that capability that you can use some out of the AWS extensions and utilize in your development. So I guess there are no questions. If you have any other question, feel free to shoot that question to our email and we will try to get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed this session and it was informative to you. Thank you for joining and over to you, Tanika.
Thanks, Ayushi. So we hope that you gain valuable insights and knowledge on optimizing data workflows with AWS SageMaker Data Wrangler. Your feedback is important to us, and we would appreciate your thoughts on how we can improve and make our future webinars even more impactful. So if you could please spare a few moments and provide us with your feedback either through comments or email, it would be greatly appreciated. And in case of any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment. And thanks a lot for taking the time to join us today. Thank you. Have a nice day.